Hello everyone, welcome back to my how-to videos, and today I'm going to show you how to hook up the bent bar to the BowFlex over here. And we're going to go over bent bar curls and bent bar straight over the head tricep press. I'm ready to go. Alright, first things first, obviously for bent bar, you should have an actual bent bar to set this up. Next step is putting your straps on so that way you can connect it to the BowFlex. Now, slide your clips on, or clip your clips on, however you want to say it. Next step, obviously, the weight. Hook the weight onto your rod. Other side. And make lots of noise because that works. Now the setup. So for me, the setup, I always have to put one leg in, grab the bar with the right hand, put your left leg in, grab the bar. What you want is your hand at the bent crease right there inside, with your thumb right next to the bent crease. Same thing on the other side. Straighten your back, and then straight up. As you come up, you're going to breathe in and down for out. Again. Alright, now time to talk about correct form. For this exercise, obviously you're going to want both of your arms to come up at the same time. Your wrist should be slightly bent at an angle, not very much, but just slightly. And then straight up and breathe. You want it to come up to your chin at least, maybe even almost your mouth, but don't smack yourself in the mouth. If you find yourself, coming up with just one arm or the other, that's also incorrect. So definitely make sure that you're coming up at the same time. And we're going to go ahead and fast forward the video so that way we can get moving on to the next exercise. Alright, now that we're going for the next exercise, this is over the head bent bar tricep presses. You're going to go ahead and sit down, readjust your feet real quick. You're going to flip your hands over, same difference. So this time my thumb is on the other side, my hand is flipped, my pinky is more towards the bent side for this end of the bar, which is the front side of the bar, and then, hold on, make sure that your straps and everything is adjusted so that way your weight can come up evenly over your head just like so, and then your elbows should be at a slight bend away from each other a little bit and straight forward. Now for this, as you go up, you're going to breathe out. And for down, you're going to breathe in. Okay, so proper form, obviously for this one, you're going to want to press up at the exact same time with each arm at the same time. Now, if you find yourself doing this, or this, or this, that's not right. So just make sure that you can press the weight that you have on there and do it correctly. We're going to go ahead and fast forward the video so we can finish up with our muscle groups. Alright, and finish up, make sure you don't catch your rods with your bar. And down. And we're good to go. Alright everybody, time for the specific muscle groups that the bent bar curls and the bent bar overhead tricep presses work. First, obviously, we're going to start with the biceps because that's what we started with. So, of course, with the bicep, it has 3 different areas: front, peak, and the backside. Now, because the bar is bent at such an angle, this actually gets more area of the backside of the bicep than anything else. The peak is a little bit incorporated with this, along with the front not being so much as incorporated with this specific exercise. Now, because of the slant of the bar, this entire wrist area is incorporated, along with more of your grip strength for the back side of the wrist and the front side of your hand. So when I talk about an angle, the angle is actually more concentrated on this top part of the wrist rather than the bottom part of the back of the wrist. Now, it's going to be more incorporated with that than it is with this small little back side of the front side of the part of the wrist. Now, for your grip, obviously, that's going to be your entire front part of your hand and your fingers. They're going to be gripping more because it's more at an angle than anything else. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the back side, the front side of the wrists. Moving on to the front side of the wrist and the back side of the hand. Now, once again, because the bar is at a slightly bigger, slightly more angled than the actual straight bar, it's actually going to be more on the top part of the back side of the wrist rather than on the bottom area here. Once again, your entire hand, back side of the hand is going to be incorporated with that as well. All those muscles inside of your hand here are going to be squeezing, helping the motion come through. So for the most part, the back side is a little bit more of a support than anything else, but don't forget about this part of the wrist that is definitely more incorporated than that part of the back of the wrist as well. And now we'll go ahead and move forward to the tricep area. Alright, time to move on to our triceps for overhead bent bar tricep press. Now, once again, the tricep is separated into 3 different areas. I'm just going to circle this before I start my explanation. Front side of the tricep, peak side of the tricep right in the middle here, and then the back side of the tricep. Now, because this is at an angle outward, facing away from your shoulders, the actual tricep incorporation is going to be more in the back part than the actual peak of the tricep. And the front part is a little bit incorporated, but not as much as the very back part and the middle part. So that's more of a minimal area that's incorporated with that. Along with your back muscles here, up here along your back, all these muscles here are incorporated with this exercise just to a lesser extent because of the angle that it's at. It does each specific back muscle group differently and a different way, but it's not super activated either. Now, obviously, because the bar is at more of an angle. Your wrists here on the back side of your wrist, and then the front side of your wrist and the back side of your hand. Sorry about that. Front side of your wrist and back side of your hand. Now for the front side of your wrist here, it's going to be this area of the wrist that is more engaged than the bottom half part of the front wrist for your wrist muscles. Now when you're talking about hand grip, it's the exact opposite here. The back area is actually more incorporated than the other side of the hand, and we'll go ahead and get to that explanation here. Alright everybody, moving on to the other activation points, which are the shoulder areas and the back of the wrists and the front of the hand. Now, because of that is at a angle, and because we are lifting it at a different angle with our elbows facing away from our shoulders, it's actually going to be working the bottom part of the back wrist more than the actual top part of the wrist, along with your hands in the front. Obviously they're going to be a little bit less engaged, a little bit less incorporated in this, but there's still engagement in there. They're still trying to hold on to the bar for you. Obviously, shoulders here, for the most part, the shoulders are going to be working just a tiny bit more than usual, but not all the way through the motion either. It's just a little bit different here. So this very top part of the shoulder is going to be working more than the mid part of the shoulder, and the rotator cuffs, they have a tiny bit of engagement but not a lot of engagement. So that's basically the same muscle group over here. I just circled it because I wanted to be more accurate. And that has been my explanation for these muscle groups and how this exercise works. Thank you very much. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching my how-to video for connecting the bent bar to the BowFlex. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Please comment below if you have any questions, like and subscribe, and always unleash your inner bull.